All right, we'll go ahead and call our Tuesday, December 23rd, Christmas Eve council meeting to order. If you would, please rise and join us for a prayer and the pledge.
Please bow your heads with me. Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and the many blessings you've given us. Lord, we thank you for this season of Christmas and for all of the meaning that it brings. We thank you for the Savior that you sent for us, and Lord, we just ask that you help us to pause during this season and just to take advantage of remembering that as we go through this week, and just help us to take advantage of moments with our family and to soak up all of the memories that will be made. Lord, we just thank you for this community that we're so blessed to serve and live in. We just thank you for the council members who volunteer their time to be a part of these conversations, to make decisions, and to move this community forward. Lord, we just ask that you be with each of us as we leave here tonight. Help us to have safe travels home, and just bless the gatherings and the family time as it comes this week. Lord, we just ask that you lead us and guide us and forgive us where we fail you. We say all these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, can I get a roll call, please?
Mayor Kennedy.
Here.
Chairman Pro Tem Lewis.
Here.
Councilwoman Oplinger.
Here.
Councilwoman Pettit.
Here.
Councilman Blades.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to public comment. A citizen desiring to speak on an item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Each citizen is limited to 3 minutes, and the council will not take action or discuss items at this time. Discussion should be limited to matters of city business, and public comment is not permitted in regard to personnel matters or on pending legal matters. Items introduced under public comment may become agenda items at a later date. Patty Cottrell.
Good evening, Council. I've kind of brought this issue up once before a while back, and it has to do with those that stand at the corner of 60 and Elliott trying to get donations or begging for money. Yesterday there was a gentleman out there, and he had the green vest thingy on. And the bucket that he had writing on it, so it may have been a very legitimate business that he's trying to get donations for, but it's a distraction. And as they say, there's more accidents caused by distractions nowadays than drunk driving. And this fellow in particular was walking up not into the cars, but in between them to get something, and that's going to be dangerous. Mm-hmm. And for everyone's safety, I wish there could be some kind of statute that they aren't allowed to stand there and do that. That's what the parking lot at Walmart's for. Mm-hmm. But not at the intersection. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'll pass. Never mind.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to council forum. Chairman Pro Tem, kick us off.
I have nothing.
Is that the Christmas parade? What's a couple weeks back, I guess?
Yeah.
And other than that, I have nothing to report.
I think you were at breakfast with Santa too, were you not?
I wasn't there. No, Santa was.
Okay. I thought I saw you in the kitchen. I thought I saw you in the kitchen somewhere. Sorry, ma'am.
I don't have anything but the Christmas parade and the side-by-side.
We had a park board meeting this past week and full attendance. So I think we're missing one, but a great group of comments. Of course, as I mentioned last time, they went out and did their kind of analysis of what they want to see and what they think needs to be fixed. They brought all that huge list back together, and Pam put it all together for us. Now they're going to start chopping that up. There was a fair amount of it that is the board itself or board plus volunteer kind of work. So I'm excited to see them take initiative on that. A lot of it is painting. A lot of it is just some stuff they can do without having to really buy anything or go through any approvals. They did have some bigger asks that I think they'll probably start to organize and may come to the council for advisory on, but other than that, they're doing great and was excited to be part of it, so.
Great, that's good.
Dawn, did we skip you?
Yes, but that's all right. I spoke
Good.
out of turn too.
Oh, I thought we did, okay.
Christmas with Santa. We did the Aurora Christmas Parade. Carrie was great help with that. Biggest parade I've been involved in probably 20 years. Aurora side by side. And, you know, we all volunteer for all these groups, but I tell you, Chief Hurd, Captain Harley Stice, he's the winner of the volunteer. I can't say it properly, but how wonderful that gentleman walked into that burning house and saved those children. I mean, all the little things that we do, just amazing that he did that. I'm so proud of him, as we all are. That's a great thing.
All right. Move on to consent agenda. This will be for the City Council regular session minutes, December 9th and December 2025 appropriations.
I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
Have a motion and a second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. Old business 7.1, second reading of ordinance number 2025-3362, plan review cost recovery. Any further questions on this, council?
I'll make a motion that we accept the second reading of ordinance 2025-3362 for plan review cost recovery.
Second.
Motion and a second, please vote.
Motion passed.
7.2, second reading of ordinance number 2025-3364, lot line adjustment deland.
Make a motion, we approve second reading of ordinance number 2025-3364, lot line adjustment, D-land.
Second?
Motion and a second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. 7.3, second reading of ordinance number 2025-3365, rezone request 321 East Locust Street.
Make a motion, we approve the second reading of ordinance number 2025-3365, rezone requests 321 East Locust Street.
Second?
Motion and a second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. New business 8.1, resolution number 2026-2068, school resource officer agreement extension.
Council, this one is kind of self-explanatory, but just to kind of let you know why we're where we're at here. We had discussed in the previous year's negotiations with the school regarding this agreement that they might want to set this off to their budget year based on how that plays into their budgeting for the year. But honestly, Dr. Yoakum and I both just kind of let this slip. And so we didn't really have time to have full negotiations about anything that might be changes to the agreement before it was to expire end of year. And he was in the thought process that we might be holding till July anyway to go with their budget year. So this is simply the exact same agreement that you had last year. We're just extending it to July 1st to give us some time to have conversations about that within that time frame.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-2068, school resource officer agreement extension.
Second?
Motion and second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. 8.2, resolution number 2025-2069, compensation study.
Council, this is the wage compensation study that was in your 2026 approved budget. You're going to see that I believe it's 3 items we have on the agenda tonight are simply because if we sign and execute these documents in 2025, we hold the pricing that we got when we were preparing the budget, and all of these things will increase after January 1st. So basically, these are just before you tonight for consideration. This is one of them, that we get this pricing as long as we execute the document, but it would be a 2026 expenditure. So this is just on here to move forward with that wage compensation study if you want to move forward with that.
I have a question, if no one else does. It kind of reads more like a market survey, like they're gonna return back what we should be paying. Excuse me, not necessarily a compensation study of, like, it doesn't appear, are they addressing wage compression? Like in the details, it doesn't mention anything other than, it reads more just like they're gonna tell us what a mechanic 2 should make, right? Or
We're kind of basing it off of how our wage classification scale is right now, where we have a minimum, a mid, and a max for each job description. So they're gonna look at the job descriptions to make sure they're in the correct class as well, on the pay scale. Make sure they're in the same grade, sorry, not class.
Got ya. What about job descriptions and that sort of thing? Are they looking at, is that a part of, because it's not detailed out in what they provided to us at all.
Yeah, that's part of their, that's why it takes them about 3 months, because they collect all the data from all the surrounding areas, job descriptions, what everybody's making, and go off of that to create what our pay scale should be.
Yeah. And is there any, sorry, I have a lot of questions. So is there any, like comprehensive plan of how we should implement that? Is
They
that
do
part of
co-
that too?
Yes, they do come back and give us suggestions.
'Cause
They
on the-
can't tell us what to do, but they could suggest what we should be doing.
Because what's provided in the packages feels like they're just gonna give us what a clerk makes in our area, right? Like what we should pay, what someone could earn in our area, not maybe addressing what I think our bigger concerns are, is the compression towards the bottom end, and
All of
maybe
that is
job
supposed to be-
descriptions and,
Yeah, all of that is supposed to be in there. That was the whole reason that, we talked about it, and they said it would include all of that.
okay.
Well, we have a decision point, so we're locking in pricing here. We could obviously say, is this committing us to it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking? Okay.
Yeah. But we can go back and ask more questions before
Well, I
doing
mean,
that.
I think it would be good to address we've said things, and then what we have in documentation doesn't really cover everything we've heard, so it's to make sure it's in the SOP or the SOW that they're actually addressing those things for sure.
Do you have additional documentation other than what's in the agenda?
No, I had to supply them with all of our job descriptions and what our pay scale was and everything like that, so that they could go off of that and what we have. So they asked if we needed additional or remove any job descriptions, but
My fear is it's just a market analysis, which, we could get from MML for 7, 8 hours of our own work. The other question, I guess, how did we find this vendor? Did we do a scoring analysis between a few different others, or was it just a single vendor, or?
this is the one that did our HR audit.
Okay, gotcha.
So they were talking about that during the audit, and John said not at this time, so
Yeah.
it's kind of been in the back of our head.
I think per our procurement policy, being above 10 grand, we really should probably find some more than one vendor. There's tons of them that do wage studies, but I don't know what council's thought is. Personally, I would like to see us follow the procurement policy.
We can put out a request for proposals and have companies submit to us exactly what would be included in it too, so that then we do have a scoring mechanism and we have something in writing of exactly what it would entail.
I'm certainly in favor of doing a wage study. I just want to make sure we don't pay for something that's half of what we need, and what they provided to me is maybe not good enough. And I think there's, or not clear enough, not detailed enough that's included personally.
I guess I'd have to agree with the procurement policy.
Sure.
Let's just go that way. I just want to get it over and done with and get this, so it's behind us, because it's been a big thorn in our side for quite a while.
Who knows, if we do the procurement, we might find somebody that's less expensive too, so.
All right, so we're not gonna take action on this item. We're gonna go, you don't need a
Postpone.
resolution for that. I mean,
Just no action.
I would do a motion to postpone indefinitely, and so then it will come off of your agenda later on. Technically, you should do a motion to postpone. That way you don't have to bring it back unless they happen to be your lowest bidder.
make a motion to postpone resolution number 2025-2069 compensation study.
Second?
Motion and second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, it was to postpone indefinitely, correct?
Yes. 8.3, resolution number 2025-2070, trash rate increase 2026. any questions? I think we covered the last time we moved for.
Was there something new?
I don't have anything to add. We did the September as you guys requested, and Waylon and I did it separately and arrived at the same number, so that's what you see in there, in your agenda.
What we all agreed on last time. So I make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-2070, trash rate increase 2026.
Second?
Motion and second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Can we get more clarity on what we would like to do in the future? I know we're working on that in the new contract type stuff. I don't think we'll come across another October
I thought the,
issue like that again, but.
yeah, I think the last time
It's
we all,
something to
Yeah.
think about so we can like have a contingency, just so we're, everybody's clear.
what I think we all, or at least I thought we were clear on, was we were gonna do a trailing 12-month average instead of a single month. So you would take, whether it's October, whatever, but October to September, and basically average that out instead of doing one single month, right? Is that what you
Yep.
recall? Okay.
Yep.
As long as that's acceptable to everybody, I think that gives a fairer picture of the year than one
Right.
single month.
Yep,
We
I
good?
agree.
And in terms of clarifying that in the actual contract documents, we talked about bringing that back to you now too. But since that's up for addressing next year, we just did the rate increase this year based on how you guys wanted to do it. And then I figured we'd do a full review when we put that back for full review for 2027. So that's my plan.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good to me. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Good with that? Okay.
Thank you.
8.4, resolution number 2025-2071, Axon Enterprise Body Camera for PD.
Council, I'm going to have Wes come up and visit with you about this one a little bit. This is another one that's in front of you tonight because pricing we know will go up a few $1,000s in January. This is a sole source provider for specific reasons that I've asked for him to explain to you.
Couple of reasons. Axon is the biggest supplier of body cams in the nation, in the world, I guess, actually. And we are already a customer of Axon. So our tasers are already Axon tasers. And then we have already the evidence.com, which is the cloud-based storage for evidence. So our videos and our activations of the taser automatically go into evidence.com, which is a proprietary storage system of Axon. The body cams will automatically download to evidence.com. So and they will only accept Axon video and things like that. So if we were to go with another provider, you would already be looking at a much higher rate because you'll be buying a new evidence management or a new cloud storage. This quote includes unlimited. We don't have unlimited storage in our evidence.com currently, but with the body cam system, that will be increased to unlimited storage so that how this will work, the officers will come in, get a body cam, stick it on them, work through the day, stick it back on the charger, it charges and downloads the data automatically, and then we can get it per case. So it'll create cases and all of that as it's going. The other two companies that I did reach out to were Motorola. Motorola was going to be substantially about the same cost for the equipment, much more over the course of a 5-year contract if you wanted to buy that extra cloud storage that we already have. And then LensLock is another company. They did not get back to me. I reached out to them in October. They responded back to me just a couple of weeks ago, well after the budget, and said, hey, if you were still interested in this. But again, we would be, it's not compatible with our current cloud storage system. And so in talking to Carrie, I was like, the sticker shock is going to be pretty overwhelming when we look at an unlimited storage on top of what storage we already have. And if we integrate the two, then that would be, probably a little bit easier on the eyes as far as the cost. Secondly, Axon is a 5-year contract. It's got the certain amount that you see there for each year. In 2.5 years, you automatically upgrade to the new camera system that's out. And so really what you're getting with this 5-year contract is double the amount of cameras that we need, because they will come in and replace all of the cameras after 2.5 years and replace them with whatever new ones they are. And this also, of course, has a maintenance contract and all of that in it that comes from Axon. So we talked about that, and the life is just going to be easier if you stay with the company that we already have. But that was the decision that we arrived at.
Kind of maybe unrelated.
Yeah.
What's the process, or do they help at all, or maybe you just know this of implementing policy around this, and then how is it handled when the second we get body cams, right? The first thing that's going to be posted is people wanting to see them being pulled over or whatever. How is that handled? How do we plan to handle it?
So I've already written a policy. It's basically the standard Missouri Police Chiefs Association policy with some tweaks to our size of organization and all of that stuff on the use of the camera. So the storage of the data and all of that stuff is included in that policy. Requests for the equipment can be handled through, it's all sunshineable, with the exception of things that are sensitive. So if there's, if we're dealing with juveniles or deaths or particular, things that are actively investigated and all of that, it's not necessarily sunshineable, but a good deal of what we do is sunshineable. And so with the evidence.com system, we will have system administrators. Myself will be one. And if someone sends us a sunshine request for a video or a prosecutor or whatever, then we can go on, grab the video that we need, do the redaction. That's another thing that evidence.com has that these other companies don't have, is the ability to redact using blackout and sound blackout and things. We can go in and do the appropriate redactions and basically just grab that video and export it from there to an email, which will send a link to whoever's receiving it, and then they can go in and retrieve that through the link. Now, the prosecutors, the city prosecutor and the Lawrence County prosecutor will actually have logins that they can log in and pull their own video if they wanted to. But if someone sunshined us, like a law firm or something like that, one thing that you see a lot of is getting sunshine requested for video of traffic accidents that we work, and they want to see the positioning of the cars and things. And so we can just send them a link to that section of that data. It takes that part, puts it in to a thing, and then exports it, and then they can retrieve that video through that. So it's really pretty quick. And so, if you get a lot of them, then you got to ask for more time. But one thing that with that question is, and this is what I've always cautioned people about, once you have it, you have it. So right now they can't sunshine request body cam because we don't have it. But once we have it, they certainly can. And folks have access to it and should have access to it. Provided it doesn't hurt an investigation or identify a victim or that could cause them damage. But yes, once we have them, we can be rest assured that people will be requesting it and requesting it a lot.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
And if I can clarify, 610-100, it reflects the rules regarding police reports as well as body-worn camera. Body-worn camera is closed until the investigation is complete, including all appeals. So your high-profile incidents, the media, unlike other states, do not get that. They can, pursuant to 610-100 sub 5, file an application to the court to say that it's more important to release it. In times of riots or things like that, the media could file a case, but the city would have the ability to be represented and explain why they feel that's inappropriate, just like we can't talk about a highly sensitive investigation because it's ongoing. So while people do think you have body-worn cameras, so I want to know what Officer so-and-so did last night on his shift or whatever, they don't necessarily have clear access to it. they have the ability to request it, like insurance companies, family members, proven family members of decedents. But those are limited and those are closed. So we have 30 days from when they request that to ask the court for a confidentiality and protection order to ensure that they're not just putting it out on the news.
Gotcha.
And we get sunshine requests on records from folks so that, you know, there's a case that's actively being prosecuted and all of that. And then in those circumstances, you know, those records are also become the prosecutor's records. And so we may defer the sunshine request to the prosecutor's office, and and I usually communicate with the prosecutor, hey, is this something that we can release? Not, is there an appeal going on? Is there something going on? I communicate with those prosecutors before I release anything, especially if it was something that went to prosecution, and they'll give me the green light or tell them no, have them send it to me. And the other thing, and maybe this is too much information, but we end up getting a lot of sunshine requests from attorneys that are involved in civil cases, so child custody and things like that. And so a lot of times you'll have a criminal case and a companion civil case going on at the same time. And so we're just constantly conscious about that and careful that, you know, they may send us the case number on the criminal case, but there may be a civil case involved that's a companion to that, and we're cognizant of that before we release any of those types of records. So.
I'm very familiar with the Axon systems for review of body cameras, and it's so expedient in getting them to supervisors so that if there was something controversial that happened, the chief would be able to review that with the prosecutor's office almost immediately. As soon as they download them, take them off, that's always first thing. It also allows for supervision
Good.
and clarification.
Just making sure we had a process in place, and it sounds like we do. So,
Yeah,
thank you.
and I can watch traffic stops live on it. So I mean, if I'm watching somebody to see how they're behaving or whatever, you know, I'm not going to be, you know, overbearing by any stretch. But if I think our communication isn't good, I can kind of watch things live as they're happening. So it's kind of a neat feature that it has that some of the others don't have.
I'll make a motion that we accept resolution number 2025-2071 for the Axon Enterprise Body Camera.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. 8.5, resolution number 2025-2072, Aurora City Hall restoration change order number 1.
Council, the City Hall renovation project, as you know, is ongoing, and I had previously mentioned that we had a situation with the steps on all three sides where they were determined to be hollow, which was a surprise to everyone, contractors, architects, and engineers. So what I have before you, and I want to explain a couple of things. So our procurement policy allows me to authorize any change orders that are 15% or less of the original contract project cost. And this is within that. However, I've provided you an additional spreadsheet tonight that wasn't in your agenda that shows all of the numbers we're working with. And so the reason why I wanted to put this before you is, number one, just the amount of it. And number two, even though it's within my threshold to approve, it's going to go outside of what we financed for the project. So we're going to be over budget on the project because of this. So with that being the case, I just felt it important to bring it in front of you guys for you to help me make a decision on this. And that spreadsheet is going to show you, just to kind of give you, this is an overall look at where we're at so far as I've been tracking it. So it shows our financed amount there at the top, and then our fees that immediately came out off the top, and the title report fees. And then we get into change orders that have taken place. So our project contract with Carson Mitchell was $633,000. We have a change order for downspouts in the amount of $13,121.41. The reason for that, and I haven't previously shared that with you, a lot of our downspout piping is stovepipe. Didn't know that till they started really kind of digging into it, and a lot of it is rusted through. So originally it was just to be painted and put back. Some of it, as they took it down to start that process, didn't hold together. So that, coupled with, I'd really like to go back with appropriate materials. That'll help some of the leakage that we have up where they hook to the scuffers and things on the roof. We do still have some leakage after that roof repair was done because we don't have appropriate material meeting up there. So that is a change order that's also currently pending, and we would be going back with square downspout material that really goes with the facade of the building and fits as it should. Concrete bumpers for the east parking lot, that's an $1,144 change order. That's just based on how that concrete in the new, so when we're over there by the east side ramp and that access over there where we're putting the bike rack and that kind of stuff, it's where it meets up to that parking lot. We would otherwise have to be talking about redoing a portion of that parking lot because of how it meets. We've talked about just doing these concrete bumpers to put some of that back because we feel like we need to consider doing that whole parking lot, but that's not part of the project. So the concrete bumpers would be just kind of a patch there to maintain the safety aspect of it until we look at redoing that parking lot in a couple of years. Then we get into the steps. So the change order for the steps that you guys had on your agenda was $62,000 and some dollars. I have a new change order that's a revised to that now in front of me. That's actually $57,478.49. That came in today, and the reason that it's revised is because they hadn't given us a credit back for the concrete work on the steps that was already in the project. So when they were asked about that, then we got a deduct from that change order. So we're actually looking at the $57,478.49 to repair the steps. That's on all three sides. And then we have a secondary, our east landing is not the same as our west landing, and it's a bigger step down, and it doesn't quite meet code. So we're gonna have to do an overlay on that landing on the east side to make that step safer and to be code compliant. So with all of those change orders that we're looking at, including the step repair, then you'll see that I've laid out for you that the total change orders, total with change orders is $737. So we're gonna be about $52,000 over budget on the project at this point. I'm hopeful and prayerful that as we move forward, this is the last big thing that we find, because they've really been in the, into the frame of the building on all four sides now and that kind of thing. But this step thing, we were not anticipating.
Is it possible with the contract we have on the project, would it ever come in lower than that? I mean, if they are expenses they thought they were gonna need, but they didn't, would they give us a discount? So maybe that would help make up some of this?
It's
not?
possible, when we
Okay.
get to the end of the project, if there's, if they've got some extra time built into it or something like that, it's possible that we would have a
Okay.
deduct, but I wouldn't want to tell you that I'm expecting that,
Sure.
because at this rate, we're facing
Right.
weather and those kind of things that I don't know that we'll beat it.
I don't remember that contract. Did it have a contingency in it?
It did not, and that's something I asked for, and it kind of got away from me as we were kind of changing project managers throughout, and there is not a contingency.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I got spoiled with a contingency on the rec center project, and moving forward, I will want them on everything because this is a lesson. So,
Okay.
My only issue is that, they kind of stated part of why it seemed high, I think I remember, was, we don't know what we're gonna get into in these historic buildings, and so here we are not
Right.
doing exactly what they said to justify the original cost. But it is what it is.
one other thing I want to point out or just share with you, Councilwoman Pettit had asked me to look into heating in the steps, at least on one side, for ice melt and that kind of thing. So we did. I don't have a formal proposal for you because I had to press really hard this afternoon to get it
Right.
from them. So I got it in my email late this afternoon, and for all three sides, if we did all three sides with the, so basically it would be electrical. So their options are water heater piping within those steps and then electrical. We're looking at $60,100 for all three sides. If we decided to just do one side, of course, we'd be looking at about $20,000 a side, but that would be with heat things in it. The contractors have explained to me that great idea for the purpose that it's intended, but it's a one and done thing. If something goes wrong with it, you're tearing out those steps to repair it because it's built into the concrete.
Okay.
So that's just one thing I would share, but I did get a price on it for you. So they did not make that a formal change order right now. It's still just a request for information, and I would need to tell them that I want to move forward with a change order if you have interest in that. But
Okay.
where we are on the project, that number was a little bit of sticker shock for me.
I guess an alternative with that, they do make heated mats that can go on steps. That might be
Sure.
a more cost-effective thing.
Okay,
So
we can look
anyway.
into those for sure.
Any further questions on that?
Mm-mm.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution 2025-2072.
Second.
Motion and second, please vote.
Motion passed.
8.6, resolution number 2025-2073, fiscal year 2025 budget amendment.
Council, this budget amendment, I provided a justification spreadsheet in your agenda that kind of explains each of the individual items. But we did have some conversations with the auditor. We did not previously budget revenue from bonds and those kind of things. He indicated that we should, and he prefers that, and that's how you offset those expenditures. So those things were previously omitted. So what you're really gonna see here is the primary justification for these is both on the revenue and expense sides, because we weren't accounting for that. I'd mentioned to you previously that the wastewater project, that wasn't budgeted on either side, nor was part of that rec center construction. So you'll see that all of the funds end up balancing. We did not have to transfer anything across funds, which I'm really excited to say. We got a pretty good handle on some expenditures this year, and we're gonna continue to do that next year. I'm confident in that, but we did not have to transfer across funds, so we're really just taking care of that information that was omitted.
So that explains the difference from the transfers and like, especially the rec center, I noticed for a long time now that was way different than what was budgeted or projected to be.
Correct. We were not, I don't know, I'm not gonna speak for previous budgets because I haven't studied them as in-depth as I have this one. But we were not budgeting some of that information that would make that offset visible, I'll put it that way, when you're looking at your primary budget. We were having to pull reports and bond revenue separately, and it's tricky. Bond revenue, we know, we've had that conversation, it's tricky sometimes about what you can account where, but Jesse has done a really good job at getting in touch with the auditor and getting confirmation of those and what he expects to see. I think that'll change our audit this year. It was good last year, but I think that's gonna line up more with what he's telling us he expects to see, and I think we'll see that be a little smoother process. Does that sound right?
Thank you, Jess. Okay. That's all my questions.
Make a motion that we accept resolution number 2025-2073 for the fiscal year 2025.
Second?
Motion and a second, please vote.
Motion passed.
Thank you. All right, last item, I don't have my number, hold on a second, sorry. Is it, which one is it?
7.
8.7, yep. Discussion on wage compression ideas.
Council, this is from our budget conversations when we were talking about the wage compression and the wages within the 2026 budget. It was just mentioned that you wanted us to have a conversation about this again before the end of the year. So we put it on the agenda for discussion tonight. Don't really have a lot of new information for you because the wage compensation study may be something that you want to start with. Really, we just put it on here for you guys to tell us where you're at and what you're wanting to see from us, because you'd asked to talk about it again before the end of the year.
I'll kick us off. I did kind of go through our spreadsheet, and I kind of did put a plan together if we, and I can share it with all council. I think I sent it to.
Kami has it for you tonight if you want it, paper
Okay.
copies to look at it. We just didn't know for sure how far you'd want to dive.
Yeah, that's
That'd
fine.
be great. Let me
Yeah.
see that. Yeah, that'd be
Awesome. And I can send an electronic version if you guys want it. I went through, I tried a lot of different things, and we very well just land on waiting for the wage study too, depending on, that might be the safest thing to do. But I think the folks at the bottom are impacted the biggest and the most, right? And so starting with a tiered approach of adjusting those wage bands more so, and then less as you went up, because folks, I'll pick on Carrie and Kami, are not impacted by wage compression, right? So there's at a certain point, you're not impacted by what minimum wage is, whether it's $14, $15, $16, $17. It's really not an impact to salaries at a certain level. And when I was trying to figure out where to draw the line, say from 4% to 3% to 2% to 1% or whatever, I was finding it difficult to keep the order in the same way from what I started with to what I was finishing with. So, if we just take an example of the five of us, if we drew the line between Tony and I at the percentage, maybe when we were done, we flip-flopped, and he was making less and I was making more. And so it felt unfair in that regard. So what I put together was one of the few scenarios that kept everybody in the same order than what we started with. And, you know, I think moved the needle in the right direction, but not being too aggressive. Wage compression. My fear of not doing anything and waiting for a wage study is that we're gonna be hiring folks after the first of the year, right? So we're kind of compounding some of our problem, the longer we wait, but.
And you may have answered it, I just missed it, but on these bands that you have, are these something that we can kind of draw a box around so that in the future, we keep after it in the same kind of manner? Or do you see this being an ongoing thing or not?
This,
'Cause
I think once you have wage compression under control, it's not a thing unless you're changing minimum wage, right? So unless that's changing.
Which will change, but I think we've seen a pretty rapid rise in that over the last few years. Yeah, I agree that you probably won't see again. Well, not outside of specific events.
Yeah. And I kind of did draw, I mean, there are boxes around those.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Following sheets, you'll see the tiers, what they start at, what the change percentage would be, and then what they would end up with, you know, on the far right. So, you know, just something to think about, but maybe waiting for a wage study is the right move. I don't know.
That would be my thought process. Let's get the wage study done and put a fire into that. And then that would be, this is excellent work, Jason.
Explain to me on the second page, the very bottom, 17 and 18, where it says over there 2%.
Yeah.
One
So if you-
amount is equivalent to another. How do you figure that?
Oh, that may be firemen,
Firefighters,
so
yep.
they're
Yeah.
figuring out a different calculation. So their $13 an hour isn't a normal, for example, might equate to $17 an hour compared to everybody else, right? They're calculated on a different, Kim, you have to help me with
It's based on their
They're
hours,
based on
right?
30, 60
You know,
hours, and
yeah.
a regular
it's not a 40-hour week.
40-hour week is based on 28.
So
Okay.
I basically converted their pay to, so we could keep in line with everybody else, essentially. So, yeah, and it may make more sense if you tear it apart and just kind of look at it as one sheet, top to bottom,
Uh-huh.
but, yeah. So,
Where did this line up? Do you know? So we have the original request on the budget.
I don't know, I did not calculate what this would do to a budgetary, put a budgetary number to it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Because I'd be interested to see where that lands with what we were,
Yeah.
we started with. Because if it's
Yeah.
similar to what the original, well, I mean, obviously it would be a little less because the 4% was a cap here. Because this includes COLA, right? You said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
So
this is post 3, on top of what we
I'm
did.
actually a
Right.
fan of this and the wage study.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that this would solve it. I think it gets us, in a big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
The counter argument's gonna be, probably, there's some pushback about if it's not equal across the board, that folks are gonna feel like it's unfair. But I don't know how we fix wage compression with doing across the board.
Yeah, okay.
So I think those are at odds with each other.
So now that you guys have this, thoughts on item next time to determine whether we want to move forward with this or bring back your ideas with what we've got here, or what Pro Tem Lewis has brought, And then in that time, can one of you guys put together at least a little bit of an idea of what we, the original budget proposal for 26, we back that to the COLA increase, what that would actually be if we did something like this in comparison? Because I think that it's obviously gonna be a little less, but it'd be interesting to know where that lands.
Sure.
Because I think this was probably the best effort at spreading out the middle a little bit, or distributing the middle better, that I've seen anyway.
I don't think I need to discuss it until we get a wage compression study back. Am I wrong?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yep. Okay.
I'm willing to go whichever way.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that, you know, if it, my only fear is if it's gonna take 6 months to grab one, you know, we're gonna be, digging the hole farther down, but, you know,
Well,
I'm not completely opposed to doing that.
Maybe, I'm just guessing that if we don't get the answer until July 1st, then maybe we could go back and prorate what they would have gotten for the year, and everybody could get a bonus, and then go up.
I don't think that's a
We can't give
We can't
bonuses.
do that.
bonuses. It's
So
work received, or what's the term? Services already rendered. Yeah. But yeah, I'm fine with waiting.
Can we go back and give them, can't do that?
Nope.
Okay.
What you can do, though, is use this as part of your RFP, because it gives them an idea of where your concerns are. The way you created those graphs, I think, would help. But if you put it in the RF as an additional information for the RFP, you also can shorten the time of the RFP, do it in 30 days.
Yeah.
January's usually slower.
Or 45, maybe. Not to be so
Yeah, I agree with
discourage
that.
folks from
Yeah,
submitting one, but
that can't get to it. Good suggestion, Holly. Okay.
Any further discussion on that item?
Nope.
Or are we waiting? Do what? Okay. All right, we'll move on to staff report, city manager report.
Council, I'm just going to highlight 3 or 4 things this evening. Police, the 911 only phone has been installed in the lobby at the PD, and it's functional. It's been programmed to notify 911 dispatch. As the call's coming in, it'll let them know it's from our PD lobby, so they'll know that when anybody utilizes that phone. Street department, we've been receiving some calls about leaf pickup and if we're done and that kind of thing. The leaf pickup equipment did go down twice. We're still waiting on a part. So they've almost got done with leaves and now it's brush week. So they're combining that, and they're trying to get, I'm sorry?
Brush week, the week of Christmas?
Well, there's been a lot out because they had some equipment go down. Our backhoe was down, so they're
Well,
trying to
I
get
know,
caught
but
up.
It just seems like it's kind of an odd time to do that, but
Yeah, they've been trying to get caught up the first of this week because of that equipment being down. We've been
Okay.
getting calls this week, people wanting it gone because they have people coming to their house.
sure.
So, I think it's just been an effort for them to try to get it caught up.
Okay.
Is really what it's been.
Okay.
So the backhoe was down, then the leaf pickup equipment went down, got it repaired, it went down again. It's just kind of been a process for them the last few weeks, so they're just trying to do the best they can to get caught up. Finance, BSNA software, we are live. December bills, have gone out and they've posted, so everyone can make their payments in the new system now. And those options are in person, online, via the automated phone system. I cannot say enough things to praise Jessica Jenkins right now on this software. She has done an incredible job leading this. We've had a lot of training and caught a lot of things as they've been on site getting all this set up, and we're still working through. It was done completely out of BSNA this week, and Jessie said that was lovely. She got payroll out early because of the holiday, of course, and she said it went really well. So this hasn't been without some ups and downs, but we are getting closer to the finish line, and Jessica has done a fantastic job getting it implemented. Community development is completely in their new software. That's how they're running their day-to-day, and every one of them says they're comfortable and they love it. Finance is smooth at this point. Utility billing was our last little bit of a hurdle, and then I'll be keying in the 2026 budget, and we'll be completely working off of that I'll have that done hopefully Monday. It'll be completely in and we'll be good to go.
Are there consultants still on site, or they?
They are not going to be here next week, but they'll be back the following week. Is that right, Jesse? Nobody next week, but they were here through today.
So on that topic, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot to mention this. The journal report that shows our expenses, it's changed now where it's not showing, or it doesn't, maybe I don't know how to read it, what GL these items are being posted to or coming from. I mean, there's a cash in and a cash out line, right? Which is always the 2100 or the 1010 GL. But before we could see, like I could see if Greg was trying to put uniforms in travel expense or something silly, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
as a weird example. So that, and I don't, that visibility is no longer a part of the, is that something we can
I
adjust?
think that's something we can just have on a report, right? Maybe it's,
I'm not gonna, I'll be honest with you, I have not had time, to play around with any of the reports. So, outside of payroll, I've had to run 2 consecutive payrolls just to get December up to date. I would venture to say that it's something probably within that formatting options when you
Yeah.
run that report. But all of those, as long as it's blue, is drillable.
Okay.
So you should be able to click on any line account and drill down into it.
We just see a PDF, but we can.
when you're in your,
You can click
Dash-
within the PDFs.
well, you're talking about in your agenda.
Mhm.
So do they have their dashboard access yet?
That went out today.
So
That went out today.
if you haven't gotten those, let us know.
No, I've gotten the email, I just haven't gotten in there yet.
Okay. So then in your dashboard, if you want to utilize that, you can drill down all the way down to seeing the document, like the invoice or receipt that we're paying. And that's
Maybe
something that Jesse worked really hard to make sure that that's attached, because sometimes I like to go see what's on an actual receipt and things before I approve a PO.
I don't think I
So
got.
I will say, what you're discussing, the appropriation file, we were just running through it. That was the best report that I could find to grab. But next week I will be doing another run to get any and all outstanding invoices I have out by December 31st, and I will find a more appropriate. I didn't like that one either.
Okay.
And I know there's gotta be something similar to our scheduled claims list prior.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Who would the email come from? From you?
It was from the
No.
system, which kind of represented itself as City of Aurora dash
It will
City of
say
Aurora, I
City of
think.
Aurora, yes.
Yeah.
It will say City of Aurora?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did not get anything.
I don't think I got it, but
I got one the other day, or maybe yesterday, and then I got one today as well, so.
Okay.
aren't you special?
So,
I haven't been able to
I
follow
gotta
them,
make sure
follow them
Tracy's
through.
the
yet,
mayor.
so-
correct, though.
so Jessica can check on that too and
Yeah.
make sure
Not
that
the Aurora one.
everything's in
Sorry.
there.
Totally sidetracked us there.
No,
Neither
that's
is
okay. Those are the things I was gonna highlight, but I'm happy to answer any questions you'll have.
I don't have any further.
Okay.
Oh, let me go back into my list here. And with that, I'll make a motion to move into closed session pursuant to RSMO 610.021 for items 1, 3, and 13.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Mayor Kennedy?
Yes.
Chairman Pro Tem Lewis?
Yes.
Councilwoman Uplinger?
Yes.
Councilwoman Pettit?
Yes.
Councilman Blades? You are now in closed session.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Merry Christmas.